Well, June 3rd, I should say. We have Machiko. On the 4th, we have Nigel Foxy Fox. And on June 11th, we have The Goose. I think we're done putting ourselves for at the moment. No, Kaliko?
Never. Can't stop, won't stop, no Diddy.
Well, it does seem like WWE won't stop putting Vegas over, as we are. It is a great day for wrestling because we are wrestling with the news. Came out just the other day that no, New Orleans will not be hosting WrestleMania 42. WWE straight out canceled it. And while a new venue has not been announced yet, it is 100% heavily implied that it will be back in Las Vegas next year. I said a lot of words in the last couple of minutes, so what are your thoughts on WrestleMania going back to back Vegas?
It's, how can I put it this way? I hope no one put all their money on these hotels in New Orleans and they can get refunds. This is the first time I've seen a WrestleMania get announced and then get recalled like a fucking bad batch of toys or something.
You're not wrong.
It's crazy because I've been listening to other people and I must say Vince, once he announces something, he's not gonna like pull it back. As much as we say Vince was out of touch, once he made a commitment, the commitment was there for the city, for better or for worse. Unless, look at Tampa, for crying out loud. The pandemic happened, he was like, okay, we'll just run it back.
You can even go back to WrestleMania 7. Even though it wasn't in, the Coliseum, it was still in Los Angeles.
Right. So, I get what they're trying to do. The problem is, and it's funny because I was talking with a friend of mine about this earlier, is that last year, this WrestleMania was such a different anomaly factor-wise that it's going to be hard to replicate it next year. Because it was a perfect storm of the first time being in Vegas since WrestleMania 9, John Cena's last WrestleMania, CM Punk's first main event WrestleMania, Jey Uso being uberly popular. Those four facts and the attraction of Vegas. Those 5 things alone was what made people want to come to Vegas and do Vegas. What people didn't like, well, I can't say that they didn't like because I can't speak for anyone else. But the one thing that got people, or at least I noticed when it came to Vegas, is they were nickel and diming you every chance they got.
Right.
It went from, and this is where you kind of miss the mom and pop shopness of WWE. Because 10 years ago, you would get a travel package, and it would include the hotel and certain amenities and certain, you know what I mean?
Right.
It would have got more money more bang for your buck. But now it's like, okay, you bought the on-location package, but hey, you didn't get this after party with Tiffany Stratton or this roast with Tony Hinchcliffe or, and people are going to do it because it's WrestleMania, but the question is that do you think you're going to be able to strike that lightning twice? Because the build to WrestleMania, and I guess that's what they're thinking of. Hey, this build wasn't the best build, and we still made a lot of money. Let's run it back, hopefully with a better build. I could see that, but there were so many mitigating factors in that I don't see it being replicated. And people are more excited about New Orleans in the sense that, I mean, they had two recently in New Orleans, and New Orleans is a better city economically for people because the hotels are very reasonably priced. Bourbon Street's right there. You can get good food for cheap. It's pretty. Everything is a walking distance from the convention center. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, the convention center from Vegas is not on the strip, so you're kind of going out of pocket off the strip to get to the convention center. By New Orleans, everything is in the city, even though the convention center is not near Bourbon per se, it's within walking distance. You can walk from the convention center to Bourbon, and then from Bourbon to the stadium, and from the stadium to your hotel room. And the only thing you really had to deal with was being outside the airport. And as a person who's been to both, more people prefer New Orleans because of the favorability of not needing a vehicle and being able to be mobile and walk everywhere. Vice Vegas, yeah, you can walk. Like, prime example, I was at the Bellagio. I still decided to drive because I know that walk is a bitch from the Bellagio to the stadium. You know what I mean? Unless you were like at the MGM Grand or the Mandalay Bay or the Luxor or one of those. Let's not go there. Excalibur, New York, New York. I mean, even then, it's still you're going far. So that's where it's kind of like,
what's wrong with Excalibur?
Holy shit. I mean, the Luxor's not good either, but as a connoisseur, the only reason the Luxor is good because it's literally you could spit and hit the damn stadium.
Right.
So that's about it. But everything else, you're kind of out of pocket. So people are walking and Ubering and whatever the case may be. So I personally, I get it. I just don't. Do people have an appetite to go back again? And it's very rare. Like, this will be the first time since what? Jersey? Was it 3 and 4?
Yeah, 4 and 5.
3 and 4?
No, 4 and 5.
Oh, 4 and 5.
Yeah.
No, was it 4 and 5?
It was 4 and 5.
Okay, first time since those two since they went back to back. I mean, I just feel bad for the people because it threw me off because I'm like, why would they get rid of WrestleMania week for a UFC show? That's the first thing I was like that made no sense to me. But I guess they got it as part of a package in their kick. And here's the other issue with all these shows. If they're kicking them down the road, eventually they're going to have to make do on them. You see what I'm saying? Because you keep in mind, you still got Indy, who's got a multifaceted show. You still got New Orleans has got a multifaceted show. Minneapolis is getting a multifaceted show.
Right.
The year after is supposed to be slated guaranteed Nashville. Based on what just happened, I can't even guarantee that.
Right.
So it just changes a lot.
WWE
and I think TKO
right
is
now.
just in the business of. You say what?
I'm saying WWE is like Oprah right now. You get a show, you get a show, you get a show, but WWE.
Well, you'll get it. No, it's you get a show eventually.
Yeah.
Because I guess they're getting 2026 Money in the Bank and UFC in New Orleans,
Nobody
which to me,
about UFC. WWE fans don't translate to UFC fans.
But UFC it depends. I'll put it this way: it would be a big deal depending who's on that card. If John Jones is on that card, yeah, it's worth it. But even then, the magnitude of WrestleMania week alone, they're losing out. I mean, So I mean, it's wild to have that happen. And then I saw this meme, and it has nothing to do with it's they shitting on The Rock because they're like every time The Rock has announced something or got involved in some shit, it never shows up, it never follows through, and I'm just like, ah, damn, hot diggity damn.
I mean, you're not exactly, well, they're not exactly wrong about that. So, yeah, I would say that that's accurate at this point. But
I,
this isn't officially WrestleMania is not about WrestleMania anymore. They, like you said, they're nickeling and diming the people with, all these things that they want to do. They literally like um, charging people to breed at this point to go to WrestleMania, and they can't necessarily. Well, they had it wasn't necessarily WrestleMania the event anymore. It was, oh well, do access for 10 grand, do this event for 10 grand, party with Tiffy for 1,500. The Hall of Fame here is 2,000. It was everything in between WrestleMania, and you can't have an after party after dark. In I mean, you could do that in Las Vegas, but you can't do that in New Orleans. Hey, there's not enough venues, there's not enough places to do things like that.
well,
So,
because the problem is that Bourbon Street is the place.
right,
So that's another thing too, because in New Orleans, the, that's the other part. You're right about that part because in Vegas they can do things and have clubs and so on and so forth, fights. New Orleans, the city is the vibe. So going to Bourbon Street is the vibe. Going to Lafayette Square is the vibe. You see what I'm saying?
right,
Going to all these different historical art monuments and parks and things, that is what you're doing in the in between, which is relatively free. You really don't need to spend a lot of money, and that's what people liked about New Orleans. You can actually be in the city and encapsulated in the city and getting the history of the city without having to deal with spending a lot of money because they got mad museums, jazz concerts, maybe a couple basketball games here and there, but most of the people are drinking on Bourbon Street. And it's relatively cheap to drink on Bourbon Street. Vice
right,
Vegas, shit, you're going to have to get off the strip just to go buy a gallon of water. And that's just like the way it is.
right.
Like, fuck.
So you can understand where WWE is not being fan friendly anymore. They're only in.
I would say it's not WWE, it's TKO.
Right. And I mean, but those kind of go hand in hand at this point. They're the same thing. It's not a Vince McMahon product.
I get where you're coming from on that part, but I would say this. I don't think WWE would pull that unless TKO told them to. You see what I'm saying?
I know what you mean, but I mean
because that's a higher up move because even because WWE pulled them, I mean TKO pulled them and was like, hey, we'll give you UFC and WWE. WWE can't control whether or not UFC commits to New Orleans. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's why I say it's a TKO move. So I get the point where you're saying it's hand in hand. I'm just trying to show that distinction,
right?
Because it's not like WWE can go, hey, you're going, like prime example, Minnesota, right? When WrestleMania was supposed to go to Minnesota,
yeah.
And what they did was like, hey, I know you wanted Minnesota, but we're gonna do this Vegas thing, and we'll give you SummerSlam 2 nights to make up for it. That's a WWE move. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a like for like.
Right.
Rather than going, hey, we're gonna give you UFC this year and Money in the Bank next year. They can control Money in the Bank. They can't. WWE can control that aspect, but they can't control the UFC aspect.
Right. But, like I was, I'm going with, um, New Orleans is a more fan-friendly environment, while Las Vegas is a more, um, you know, company-friendly environment. Like I said, they could, dollar and cents everybody to death. And if they went to New Orleans, they wasn't going to make nearly as much of a revenue as they did in Vegas, and that's why they're going back, because they want that revenue. They want to see if they could duplicate it. I think that, unfortunately, I think that they could. It's WrestleMania. People are not going to go to WrestleMania. Like you said, not too long ago, people specifically save up life savings to go to WrestleMania. So, it's not out of the realm of possibility that they could easily get another, 50,000 in those arenas, depending on, pricing again. Because I can't imagine the prices aren't going to be, I'm going to say maybe double what they were this year. And that's being generous there. But it's not about WrestleMania anymore. It's about that after party, that the roast of WrestleMania. It's about partying with Tiffy. It's about the Hall of Fame. It's about all of those little small avenues to dollar and cents people that they're seeing dollar signs. If that I do wonder if that is going to translate next year compared to this year, because, like, oh, well, it's WrestleMania in Las Vegas, the first time in, 2 decades. Sure, I'll party with Tiffy for X amount of dollars. But to do that every year, I think that's maybe asking a lot. And as we've said before, maybe I said before, Las Vegas isn't necessarily a family-friendly, city to begin with.
Depends.
I mean, there's literally billboards of half-naked women. That's not a family-friendly place. It's called Sin City for a reason, Kaliko.
I mean, I'm not knocking that, but I'm just saying there are family friendly things to do. But the thing is that most people, like you said, are gonna go there to party. But I mean, there's family friendly things. I mean, me and my kid we were out there. It was pretty fun. We had a good time without having to do all that. Now the problem is that they're pricing out a key demographic.
Right.
So I'll give you that much.
WWE's main demographic, might I add.
They're carrying out that demographic that kind of made them the. But then again, that went away with the PG era. So it's what I'm saying, it's like you can't have it both ways. Be PG and then be able to take a family of 4. Not be PG, but be able to take a family of 4 to WrestleMania.
Right. Well.
So it's a iffy.
We'll definitely, stay on top of this as, it continues, but it doesn't seem, from what I'm hearing, it doesn't seem like this is going to be like a one-time back-to-back. TKO is looking to do WrestleMania in Las Vegas either every year or almost every other year. With it being in rotation with events like the NBA playoffs, the Super Bowl, big events that could replace it for that year. Um,
I mean, but more people were and this is funny because they're the one spot that everybody wanted it every year, if they had it, was New Orleans. New Orleans was bid to have it every year because people love being there. It's a great city, affordable. A family could go there and you can enjoy the city while enjoying the wrestling. And it actually helped them out because a lot of the competition had to be out the city. Here in Vegas they can be in the city because they can't shut every hotel down.
Because it's one big cluster.
Well, that's my point.
Well, the other one major thing about them doing it in Vegas was they made a big tax deductible doing it there. Like over 50K in returns. And
I mean, San Fran let them use the city for free.
and it is worth noting that TKO is based out of Las Vegas as well. So, there was a lot of factors. I don't think
And they'll
that
have to their crew don't have to travel.
right.
They're like, shit, we gotta travel our crew.
I don't think that it's going to work. I think that this might be something that kind of blows up in their faces at some point. You know, WWE
The problem is it won't because it's WrestleMania. That's why.
the last 3 years WWE has been really hot. At some point, that bomb is going to explode, and it's going to blow up right in their faces.
See, I
And
don't think the bubble's gonna pop, and that's the thing.
it has to at some point. And Russ, I could definitely be biased and just say, I live in California. It's a 4-hour drive. Hell yeah, I'm going to WrestleMania every year. But that deprives people that couldn't that can't travel, whether it's via plane or you know other methods. It's it's not. It, you do it in New Orleans one year. That's one place where you'll get people from Texas, Georgia, Florida that could drive. It's accessible. Then obviously the New York ones, the Philadelphia ones. It's a different. It makes it accessible to people from all over, and people from that community. A lot of these places depend on WrestleMania to boost their community as well. And I feel like you kind of deprive the rest of the United States of that, and you're depriving your fans that can't leave their respected state or where they live. You get what I mean?
True, true. However, if they were to leave for one spot, it would be Vegas. Vegas or Miami.
Well, it looks like they chose Vegas.
It would be Vegas, Miami, New Orleans. The places people would leave for: Vegas, Miami, New Orleans, maybe Los Angeles. Those are like the four where they would be like, oh yeah, for sure. So yeah,
Yes, obviously, this show WrestleMania is going to, garner people, depending on what the price might actually be. Um, but everything else
true.
around the show, I think that those are going to take a big dip, in my opinion.
I I think WrestleMania itself is going to take a dip because, like I've said, we had so many firsts in this one. Like Punk's first WrestleMania, Cena's final WrestleMania, um, Jay's first solo single WrestleMania. Um, yeah, it was just a lot of factors in that drove people to go. And and unless Cena just says, fuck it, I plan on not retiring next year. You know what I'm saying? I don't see it happening.
Right.
I don't see the repeat, unless I'm trying to think, what would be a main event? And this is where we have to just think, what would be a main event on both nights that would make you go, I have to go?
Well, I'm sure that they'll come up with something from now till then. But
I
um,
mean,
New Orleans is stuck with Money in the Bank in August of next year. Like, oh, you don't get WrestleMania, literally the biggest show of the year, but here's a third tier paid preview called Money in the Bank. Like,
I mean, this is not third tier. No, let's not go that far.
I mean, it's not WrestleMania. We could definitely agree with that.
We'll agree with that, but it's one of the big. If there were ever a pay-per-view to get, Money in the Bank is a good. I mean, they could have said Backlash. I'm just saying, it could have been worse.
I mean, they could have gave them Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, Survivor Series.
SummerSlam? No, hell no. Hell no. You don't get SummerSlam in New Orleans. Fuck that.
Why not?
Have you been? Oh, bro. SummerSlam in New Orleans in August is fucking humid as hell. Fuck that. It'll be Mosquito City in that bitch. Nah, hell no. The fuck it is. And that's coming from a fellow Southerner. Ain't no fucking way, boy. Ain't no way, boy. Ain't no way. Cleveland was like, fuck it. Because Cleveland was humid as shit. And I'm like, if Cleveland was humid, New Orleans is on some other shit. So I'm just telling you.
What about some people in Cleveland were like, is there a possibility of WrestleMania coming to Cleveland now that New Orleans is not in the runnings?
No, WrestleMania ain't coming to goddamn Cleveland.
I don't think that you would go
Vegas
back
could be the permanent staple, though. I will say that.
I don't think you'd go back to Cleveland if you had the option, even if WrestleMania was there.
No, you don't. But you don't go back. It's just weird now because now it's going to get to the point where it's just like, I'm afraid that WrestleMania's always been this way, but mid-market cities will not get it. And I told you this formula was going to be the formula from here on out. I told you this.
You did.
Put the WrestleMania will be a destination for bigger cities that can handle the tourism and can do what that is, and all the mid-tier cities are going to get those SummerSlams and Survivor Series at Petco Park. Petco Park, San Diego is not considered a top city. Same with SummerSlam. SummerSlam in Jersey, it's Jersey. And they didn't even say New York. They said New Jersey.
Yeah. So, they don't need to twist it around and say, oh, WrestleMania's in New Jersey. No, it's SummerSlam's New Jersey.
And then Royal Rumble was in Indianapolis. So like I told you, all these little cities, these little mid-major cities they're just gonna rotate around that big four, and if they make the WrestleMania like in Vegas a permanent thing, or keep rolling with New Orleans and just keep shopping around these big cities where people want to go, and that's going to be the unfortunate formula. We saw this coming.
Right.
Damn, I can't believe Kaliko's Yatstradamus has struck again.
Yatsadamus. Okay.
I mean, you say Kaliko Yachts. Yatstradamus.
Yatsadamus.
So, I mean, but yeah, it's unfortunate. But if you got the bread, you got the bread. But what I will tell people is that, word, hand of advice, just, I mean, don't buy those. Unless you got the money to buy them pre-sale, do not get them once the tickets get released. Because it's just going to be a free-for-all until the week of.
Right.
And then it's out in your favor. It works out in your favor. Even the day of, shit. The only time it didn't, because shit, John Cena, that shit stayed at $2,000, and we were just stuck with it. It was just like, we had to eat that. Because it's John Cena's final one, so that's why, the market. But,
Well,
before,
in other
you
news,
will see, there goes Wrestling with E live in New Orleans. Go run it back in Vegas, baby.
yeah. Now, somebody's looking to have his last match, not in Las Vegas, but in his home state, is a one Bill Goldberg. We still have not had word on when he's having his retirement match. There has not been a date, a time, an opponent, etc., etc. But he did say very recently that he does want his retirement match to be in the South, preferably in the state of Georgia, where he made his name in WCW, obviously an Atlanta Falcon,
Georgia Bulldog.
Hmm?
He's a Georgia Bulldog too.
Right. So, and when they was in Georgia for Bad Blood, he got a really warm reception, which Goldberg doesn't necessarily get everywhere. How they're going to fit Goldberg's retirement match in everything, considering that from now to November, like, it's the WWE schedule is fucking packed. I have no idea. And I'm assuming he's not going to be retiring, on a random Raw or SmackDown. It is going to be a PLE.
True.
I would just say run it back.
I mean,
Do Bad
Saturday
Blood.
night main event.
Oh God.
I mean, that's the only way, Betty.
Well, they tore down the Georgia Dome, didn't they?
Yes, it is the Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
No,
So it would have to be at Phillips Arena or State Farm Arena. Jesus Christ.
The Mercedes Dome is in at New Orleans, though.
No, so the Mercedes, the title, it used to be the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in New Orleans. Now it's the Caesars Stadium in New Orleans, and the Mercedes-Benz Stadium is now Atlanta because the naming rights flipped. Kind of like how Staples became Crypto.
Well, that's just confusing as fuck now.
It is. So instead of the Mercedes-Benz Dome, or the Superdome, the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, which was New Orleans, the Dome, is no longer called that. It's called the Little Caesar Stadium. And then the Mercedes-Benz name went to Atlanta, Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
How the fuck did Little Caesars get money to pay for it, to get a dome?
Oh, the naming rights? Oh, no, that dude's rich. The owner? Because he owns the Detroit Pistons. And, yeah.
And Little Caesars, apparently?
Yeah, Little Caesars, Detroit Pistons. think he has some stock in the hockey team. But shit, yeah, yeah, bro, yeah, Brody.
So my feeling is just run it back, do Bad Blood, and I could even say you could do it in a bigger arena in Georgia. What about that arena that Cody and Roman did that promo in Georgia, leading up to Bad Blood?
That was Georgia Tech. That stadium ain't got nothing on the Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
I mean, it was saying.
So it would have to be the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. But I don't see them going back there unless it's WrestleMania or the Royal Rumble.
I disagree. I think if it's a big enough draw, and I do think that Goldberg's final match is a big draw.
Not as big as you think. Not as big as Cena's final WrestleMania match.
To the area, it is. I would say.
Maybe.
I mean, I'm not going to say that they're going to sell it out, but
As an AT alien, I'm like, like,
But was you a Goldberg fan growing up? Is the question.
Goldberg was like in my teens. He was the guy, but
I mean,
am
in
I gonna
football,
get?
but in pro wrestling,
This is 20 years removed. This is 20 years removed from that moment. So it's a whole generation that knows of Goldberg, but that doesn't mean that their link affinity for Goldberg is the same.
I mean, those people that were there 20 years ago, they just didn't up and died. I mean, they still exist.
I mean, some of them did.
Oh my god.
Laughing.
That is such a scooter joke that you just made.
What?
I mean, you're not wrong, but I mean, I still.
Bro, it ain't the healthiest fucking city. I can tell you that. And that's me living there. What the fuck you talking about?
I mean, the other question is, who is he actually going to wrestle? I mean, the first one would be Gunther. Would make the most sense. But
And ain't nobody blocking 60,000 seats for Gunther Goldberg for 5 minutes. See, that's the problem. It's gonna be a 2-minute match.
but they're paying for the finish.
Let me see. The last time Goldberg was in a stadium with 70,000 people, WrestleMania 33.
SummerSlam 2021, I'd say.
Where the fuck was SummerSlam 2020?
Allegiant Stadium. Him and Bobby Lashley.
I was there.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, him and Bobby Lashley. But no, they came to see Cena Roman.
Right. I don't
Just
think
saying.
he's wrestled since that match. No, he continued the rivalry with Bobby Lashley, but he hasn't wrestled since 2021, if I'm not mistaken.
Not that I know of, but yeah. As I'm sitting up here looking up WrestleMania tickets or hotels, don't mind me.
Roman Reigns looking at getting out of the rat race that is called professional wrestling. He is being considered for the Street Fighter movie. He's rumored to play Akuma in that movie. So, interesting to see if he gets that part. And honestly, just if a Street Fighter movie would be worth watching in 2025 or, whenever it comes out.
I mean, they're Street Fighter fans, but I think I can't even remember the last time a good Street Fighter movie popped out.
I mean, it's been like decades since the last Street Fighter movie, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and it was like, eh. So yeah,
I feel if I feel if they get Tammy right, they'll be okay. Just my opinion.
they need no. If they get Ryu right, Ryu and Ken, if they get them two right, the rest will take care of itself. Right. So
Well, maybe WWE is not doing right. More dates have been announced for John Cena's retirement tour. With most notably no dates in November. As of right now, John Cena is not advertised for Survivor Series. Uh, do you think that that's going to change as we get closer to November, or is he taking November off and his last match is going to be? Well, it's already confirmed that TD Gardens in Boston is getting his last match, his last appearance in December.
makes sense. So
Yeah, makes sense.
uh, it would make sense if he didn't have the title, and I don't expect him to have the title by then.
By November.
Yeah, I expect him to lose it between now and SummerSlam. To be quite honest.
I don't think he's losing it like right now. Maybe.
I didn't say like immediately, but I say between now and August, it's gonna be gone.
I would say between August and October, if I'm being honest. That would.
I don't think he's losing it overseas. He'll lose it in Jersey before he loses it
I mean, he could
anywhere else.
I mean, he could always drop it at Petco Park, Survivor Series.
Nah, because I mean the problem with that is you would have to get rid of the format, and they're not getting rid of the format. When was the last time there was a championship match at Survivor Series? My point exactly.
Last year, Gunther defended it against Priest and Balor.
No.
Yeah, I think that's right. Hold on. Making me type into my Google machine.
You damn right, because you motherfucking right. I mean, I could see Gunther versus for the title.
Results. Yeah. No. Wait. Yeah.
Yeah, Gunther and Priest.
Gunther won by technical submission.
See, there you go.
So John.
Okay, so Gunther. WWE title. WWE Championship.
But.
When was the last?
Okay. So you're saying the WWE Championship?
Yes.
Well, I mean, Roman really defended the championship to begin with, let alone, you know.
How dare you?
So you would be looking at around 2029? Actually, no, because 2019, I mean. What am I fucking talking about? Who would that have been? Whole State Arena. Yeah, because they would do the
I'm trying to.
champion versus champion.
I mean, that's the point. I mean, they always highlighted when Roman had it wasn't popping, sir.
No, it wasn't. But I mean, that's when Roman. But again, how many times did Roman actually defend the championship to begin with? So it wasn't out of the realm of possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, we're at 19. Um, two triple threat, tag team match, champion triple threat. Yeah, even this was not okay. Singles match for the Universal Championship. No holds barred match for the WWE Championship. Brock Lesnar defeated Rey Mysterio by pinfall in 2019. There you go.
Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio.
The WWE Championship was defended at Survivor Series in 2019. There you go, you son of a bitch.
Against Rey goddamn Mysterio.
What's your point?
Well, my point is, the ultimate point is that Cena's not going to defend it. That's the ultimate point. He defended that shit. Because he ain't going to have the belt. And even if he has the belt, I don't see him having the belt in Survivor Series. I see Survivor Series being a way to set up the eventual rivalry to get to Royal Rumble, to get to have a championship to the Royal Rumble. Because my thing is, I'm thinking Cody's going to have the belt by then. I think Cody will have it back.
I mean, it has to be Cody.
I think Punk or Seth is going to be the World Heavyweight Champion.
That wouldn't make sense.
Because I expect Punk Seth Mania 1-on-1. Punk Seth or Seth Roman. My money is on Seth Roman because it's a better argument. It's a better history, and it's never happened in a Mania setting.
Not to mention,
and Roman has something.
Not to mention,
Roman has never been beaten Seth, so it makes more sense. So look at us.
Yeah.
Already booking it. Anyway, yeah, that to me, now that would make sense. A Seth Roman, Seth is the champ, but then that would.
Well, we could maybe agree that the War Games match for Survivor Series is arguably going to be Seth and Braun and two other people, probably against CM Punk. Sammy, yeah. The Punk's, no, Rollins, Rick, or Sammy. Probably Punk, Roman, and I don't think we're gonna get Kevin Owens in November. So you would have to have whoever they fill in at that time. So I mean, if the War Games match is Raw, then that leaves John Cena open to have a match at Survivor Series, whether it's for a title or not.
I still don't see. I mean, if they wanted him there, they would have been or announced him. And think about it, that would be his third time in Cali, because he did Cali New Year's Day, and he's doing Cali Money in the Bank.
But it's a different side of Cali.
It's Southern Cali.
But it's like a really long drive.
That is not a long drive. A long drive is L.A. to the Bay. That's a drive. L.A. to Bay goes like 2 hours tops.
With traffic, it's 4.
On a train, it's 1:50. Come on, bro. 1:50. Keep telling you. You can. I'm telling you. As a matter of fact, wrestling. Here, you heard it here first. We're gonna try to do wrestling with E in San Diego. Survivor Series. Get your ass on the Amtrak. Meet you down there. I'll meet you on the way. Shit.
Well,
As I'm booking this goddamn room for Vegas. For Vegas. Lock it in now.
WWE already locked in Roxanne and Julia. Like we said last week, they wasn't confirmed for as main roster talent until literally last week at the final hour. Julia is now a SmackDown talent, Roxanne Raw talent. Both are qualified for the Money in the Bank ladder match, so they are looking at these goals at this point, even though they jobbed them out to their champion the week prior. So
they didn't job them out. Why do I keep saying jobbing? Because you don't put Roxanne, put it like this. Oh, she jobbed, but she qualified and won a triple threat. And this is in Roxanne's case. Literally the next week. Tells you how much confidence they got in that girl.
true, but we'll see. There's a difference between.
I mean, she's gonna be the crash dummy, but that ain't the point.
I was gonna say there's a difference between qualifying for Money in the Bank and winning Money in the Bank.
But that spot is only given to 6 people.
Yeah, and
to get it the night that you debuted as a main roster person, that says a lot.
She was the main event of Raw the week prior.
No, I mean officially. Like, you know how Adam Pearce is. Adam Pearce official. I'm not arguing with you. I'm just arguing. I'm just giving you the,
Yeah. Well, while they make their way to the main roster, WWE LFG wrapped up on Sunday with Tyra May Steele and Jasper Troy winning the contracts to NXT. Jasper already made an impact by leveling Saba Odie on NXT, laying them flat. Already making an impact on NXT, which I think was what Shawn Michaels wanted in the first place. I think both individuals have a lot of upside, but I don't know if you watched LFG or if you're familiar with either party. But what are your thoughts on them getting the contracts for NXT?
Not only am I familiar, I have an insider who works for WWE, gives us little LFG moments. So, it's gonna be so. Eric, he's already told me get ready for season 2 because it's gonna be some fireworks. But yeah, this one, I mean, those two kind of, you could tell that those two had it. And it almost felt like it was theirs to lose from the beginning, if that makes sense. I actually liked Elijah's kid. I thought he would have been a good person, a good guy. I think they're going to bring him back. I think they're going to put him more in the Performance Center a little longer, see if he's got it hanging.
I mean, keep in mind that he was only there for maybe 2 months before he got onto LFG, so he was still, very much learning WWE, etiquette.
I mean, and that's literally coming off, because keep in mind, he played for Georgia, got drafted by the Eagles, got released by the Eagles, went straight into wrestling, and cold turkey. So that's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, I could see him going places. It's almost kind of like he's like the new Apollo Crews to me.
That's not a compliment.
No, no. What I'm saying is, as far as his build is Apollo Cruisish.
I get what you mean by that.
But I mean, yeah, but the right people won. The right two won
I agree. Um,
in my book.
I think Tyra May Steele, she, I think that she could be a real big player in WWE. I think that she could be on the level of Kurt Angle when it comes to psychology and getting the business if she just understands the business. I do feel like she kind of has to take things down like a notch and not take herself so seriously, but take the
Hmm.
wrestling seriously, if that makes sense. And
Got it.
that's going to that's going to make her explode into a megastar because she has it. It's just a matter of bringing it out of her. And I feel like low key she was a tweener on LFG because obviously there's a hint of kayfabe in the show. We're not looking at that. It's like saying, oh, it's 100% shoot. Oh, I think that she is the type of character. If you like her, you like her, and if you don't, they're going they're going to boo her. So it makes sense that they would play on that. And if you were a fan of her in, LFG, great, yay. But for the people that felt like somebody else would have won, like Zara, um,
Hmm.
then people are going to take exception to that. They're going to boo her. And I do think that you want to start Tyra as a heel. So it would make sense to get her heat, her first thing in the cards, to say, hey, I want LFG. I'm a Olympic gold medalist. I succeed in everything I do, which is, the I'm bragging about all of my accomplishments, which fans don't like. Um, it's just a matter of time until the other girls make their way up as well, like Zara. I think she's gonna be a big
Yeah,
star
and
as well. Bailey Humphrey, fucking China 2.0, like legitimately, like she has aura around her, and I literally cannot wait to see her in action. When it comes to some of the other girls need to cook, but those are the ones my eyes are on. Jasper
yeah,
Troy,
a lot of the girls need to cook. Just getting used to the schedule.
right. Jasper Troy, yeah, 100%. Happy for him. Obviously he has a family. I don't think that story helped him as a heel. It's literally made him babyface in my opinion, while he's trying to make the persona of a heel. But it could actually play to his advantage of being like a KO. You know, I'm doing this for my family, so I'll hurt anybody I have to get um to provide for my family. Um, but I do think that he was maybe the most camera ready out of everybody. Shiloh just needs to slow down.
True.
But yeah, when like you said, Elijah, when he comes up, he's gonna be a big star as well. He's already got
Yeah,
it.
he's gonna be a problem. He's gonna be a fucking problem.
He just needs time to cook. Is all he needs right now.
Oh hell yeah, he does.
Um, speaking of cooking,
Let me
dumbass,
cook.
huh?
Mm,
Dumbass Darby
sorry,
Allen
I
made
had
his
Glorilla in my head.
dumbass Darby Allen got his dumbass up on top of Mount Everest. While Well, John Moxley is drowning us at sea level.
Wow. I mean, below sea level if you're in New Orleans. Oh, man. Don't do it like that.
Well, I mean, technically, AEW's in Arizona um, tomorrow, so I mean, that's above sea level, right?
I think so. I mean, I'm guessing.
Well, Darby Allin climbed his fucking mountain. Congrats, fucking lations. Get your
Got his flag.
Yeah, you did a kick flip.
Get your ass down because you've been holding this story for fucking ever.
Yeah.
Motherfucker sitting here stuck because your ass would have hootie high up the mountain. Granted, I will give him this. He did request the time off, so I can't even get mad at him. It ain't like he requested this time off in advance.
I mean, true, but that's on Tony for putting him in, a major rivalry when he knew that he wasn't gonna fucking be there.
Hey man, that's just not. Who's gonna tell Tony no?
Tony tells nobody.
Who gonna check him, boo? Who gonna tell Tony no? Who check him, boo?
Maybe Shad.
Shad too busy trying to deal with Travis Hunter, sir. Like, that ain't happening.
Yeah, I have no idea what that means, so I'll just agree with you.
Travis Hunter is his newest pick in the NFL draft.
Well, good for him.
It all correlates. And trying to get them to London permanently, fucking around with this guy.
Well, in other news, Hulk Hogan's Real American brand is looking to buy Hooters.
Huh?
Yeah. So apparently Hooters filed for bankruptcy not too long ago.
And I thought Twin Peaks bought them.
I mean, this report was from a couple of days ago, so maybe, but
I was just at Hooters too, so I don't know.
So you support Real Americans, brother?
He ain't bought them yet, but I'm trying to get to this one spot, Ojos Locos. Oh my God, they keep flooding my Instagram with Ojos Locos, and I'm just letting you know, when you come to Dago for Survivor Series, we going to Ojos Locos. So just go ahead and get your ass ready.
Okay, what is Ojos Loco?
We will talk offline.
I can already tell that some of our listeners are Googling as we speak.
I mean, if you in Texas, if we got listeners in Texas, you know damn well. But it's more, okay, let me put it like this. It's like a Hooters, except their girls are way more scantily clad than Hooters. They make Hooters look like they're wearing basketball gear. I'm just letting you know right now.
Okay. Petco Park weekend is looking a little bit more memorable from my perspective now.
You damn right.
What was we talking about again? Hulk Hogan buying Hooters.
Hooters.
Yeah.
Hoo-ha's.
I mean, sure. Great for him. If it actually comes to be. But, I kind of feel like Hooters, well, I mean, it kind of tells you where the world is right now. The world is at right now that, boobs and butts aren't selling merchandise. Hooters,
They're not selling merch, but they'll get you to the bar.
but that's what I mean. I mean, is Hooters has to file for bankruptcy. I mean, that kind of tells you where the world is right now. So I don't think.
Depends on certain areas. San Diego only has two, so I get they used to have like four or five, but now they only got two. So I could see that aspect. But then again, other restaurants have opened. Ojos Locos. I keep telling you, we'll trust me. When we get to Ojos Locos, you'll see, and your ass gonna be like, "Oh shit, fuck a Hooters, fuck a Hooters." It's already got me like fuck a Hooters. I almost took my 9-year-old son to Ojos Locos. Like, you want to be a man?
So basically, you're saying that it's not that Hooters isn't selling. It's that other places are selling better merchandise.
uh, Put it this way. You know how we say Shawn Michaels got the bakery?
Mm-hmm.
See, the problem is that Hooters is just showing you like Hooters is just giving you like like the bakery through a window, right? Ojos Locos is giving you the goddamn cake sampler in your face. Let's just say it like that. They're giving you bread and cupcakes dead smack in your goddamn face.
Okay. Well, getting the 411 from Coleco Yachts.
Oh, trust me, I've it's funny when you talk to people on the trains what you talk about.
So not just a former host preaching about Jesus.
Trust me, man. It's more than that.
Hey, folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show. Support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.